Presenting the new Abnormal with Sriram and Shivaram.
Sriram Surya
And
Harsha Shivaram.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. Good to see you here on the second episode of the new Abnormal with me, Sriram Surya, and that is Harsha Shivaram. What's up, Harsha? How are you?
What's up, bro? How are you, yo?
Strange times, but yeah, we are trying to be as safe as possible. The last time we were in a studio together, but now I guess this is a virtual episode. We did receive tremendous feedback. What did you hear, Harsha? What did you hear from your friends, family? A whole lot of followers have been watching us on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook as well.
Yeah. Let me congratulate you, buddy. Congratulate you and congratulate the both of us on the average, the great success of our first episode, the new Abnormal with Sriram and Shivaram. Top RJ Sriram, ex-RJ Harsha Shivaram. Ram, I think, so last episode we were just chatting about married life versus unmarried life. And of course, during this pandemic, Mr. Sriram continues to be happily married while I continue to be happily unmarried and by myself in the lockdown. So Ram, what do you think we should jam on today after the great response that we got for episode 1? So I have a suggestion.
I still say there is nothing called as happily ever after. But yeah, we did receive a whole lot of feedback about how cringy the first episode was. So we are back at it again. This time, however, we are talking about dating from home. Harsha, you've been busy dating
man.
from home. What's all this about, though? What is dating from home? Is it a new concept?
No, all of us have been working from home though, but now we are going to talk about, like we said, we're going to talk about dating from home because believe it or not, Ram, I was reading somewhere that the traffic on dating apps and websites has gone up by 34%. Can you believe it during the pandemic? Right. And sometimes dating itself is a pandemic. But before we get into the theme of the conversation today, let me tell you this. Dating has always been happening from home. You know why? The reason is that, let's say you have a successful date, okay? There are two people who have a very good date and everything goes well. So what is the question they're going to ask each other after the date? Your home or my home? So it is from home only, no? So you have been dating from home, no? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. Mr. Sriram has been having the longest date from home for over a year now with Punita. Correct, Alaram?
At least I have someone, Harsha. But, I did read about how during the pandemic, if you are probably single, you have definitely felt the isolation more than ever. There have been people who have been going through a lot of self-doubt as to, am I really feeling this lonely at this point of time? Because socially distanced on one end. Having said that, a lot of traffic, a lot of interactions, a lot of exchange of hobnobbing, sending pictures and flirting that's been happening on the virtual front. So let's get to it, dating from home. So what has kept you busy, Harsha? Have you been on Hinge? Have you been on Tinder? Have you been on all of them, including Grindr?
No, grinder. I can hear my mom cooking dosa batter in the grinder. Ram, but as you rightly said, I think for me, it's all, it's been all about, self-doubt and little bit of self-support is also needed during this time. So, bahar zyada traffic nahi hai. Traffic ella full, it's moved on to dating apps. Ram, I don't think I've gone on a date in the in recent times. I've just met some friends though, sneaked out and met some friends when the lockdown hasn't been there. But you know what, Ram? I feel there are two aspects to dating from home. Okay, there are two versions of it. One is during lockdown, right? You can't go home. So obviously your courtship, the entire courtship is happening virtually. So that is the first scenario. And the second scenario is when, say, probably there's no lockdown, but the pandemic is still there as it has been. So you go out and maintain social distancing and meet the other person. I think when it comes to situation number one, it's advantageous because when you're virtually dating someone, there is no confusion as to who should split the bill. That's usually one issue that comes up, no? And there is no confusion on, so right now, Mr. Sriram is wearing a nice printed, there's black, there's white, a very nice new shirt, which I'm sure Puni picked up for him online. I'm wearing a black shirt. But it's not necessary to wear nice pants and trousers and all. We can manage with baggies. I'm wearing Bermudas. I won't show them to you.
That's
nothing.
it. You just dress up for this, and that's all. You're pretty much set, and you can probably have Maggie on your date. Have your comfort food. You don't have to order anything fancy. You can have these virtual dates. Having said that, it is true that at one point of time, just a hi, hello, and do you want to catch up? And there would be a meet, a greet that would happen, right? Whereas now there is so much of small talk that's happening. In fact, there are lots of honest conversations that are happening because you can't meet the other person, right? So what do you talk about? You get to know about them a whole lot, but again, only on the virtual front. But when you go and meet them in reality, do you really want to continue the relationship after that? Or you felt this was
I don't know. I
only
think
on the virtual?
Yeah, no, Ram, I think, meeting somebody in real, it's an entirely different ballgame altogether. But during the pandemic, you really get to admire their beautiful eyes because that's all you can see over the mask. And I'm sure it's going to be a very well-behaved, decent date because of social distancing. But I tell you what, there is the short story of one of my friends, who was telling me he connected with a girl during the pandemic. And, there's a happy part and a sad part to the entire story. Okay. So when they connected, both of them were positive and both of them were hospitalized. Okay. So that's where the courtship happened and they started talking to each other and all. The happy part is both of them recovered. Yeah. God bless them. They got out and they met. But the sad part is, first time meet aadaga, that was the breakup. They broke up the first time they met. So, it's an entirely different ball game. I think it's also about the body language and all those things. And, the vibe of a person that you feel when you meet someone, actually. I think that really matters, no?
The irony here is that it is so easy to find a date in today's world because of all the apps. Still, you can't really meet them in person.
It just takes your right hand. That's right hand. You just swipe. Like some people do, and I've done this sometimes as well. Don't go and check out the details of the profile. Just close your eyes and blindly go on swiping. Because at least if you bowl 10 balls, 3 might connect. That is the logic behind the entire scenario. Okay, now that all my secrets are getting out due to the new abnormal. I'm sorry, you're saying something. Go on.
I'm sure a lot of single guys relate to what you just said about simply swiping without even looking at what
swipe Saki. Exactly.
Okay. So Harsha, just talking about finding dates in today's world may be easy because of all the apps, right? Like I remember at one point of time, there used to be these hotline numbers that people would dial for companionship. And then, of course, I remember I'm guilty of using Yahoo chats, asking ASL and things like that. But then right now you have everything at the convenience of your app. So it's easy to find companionship. Having said that, there may be a problem of plenty and of course, socially distanced. So you need to maintain all your precautions. I guess protection means carrying.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Sriram, the gentleman, let's say a couple meet, okay, they've been dating and they meet and they safety precautions. But if at all the date ends back home, then they will follow safety precautions, but not COVID safety precautions. Other safety precautions they will take. And you were talking about something that, just took me back a few years, in fact, many years down the memory lane. ASL, I also come, both of us you're like 4 to 5 years younger than me. So ASL, age, sex, location. But these days people don't ask for A and L. They just ask for yes, no? So I don't know if they get a yes back in return though. But Ram, I got to tell you this. You're talking about hotline. So there are hotlines. A lot of times the line only gets hot because if it's a virtual conversation, no. So you were saying there's going to be a lot of small talk. That small talk can get into different kinds of talk as well. So with your permission, I'll tell you I'll reveal one personal story, one detail. Shall I?
Hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay, Mr. Sriram is all prepped up to hear the nice story. So I think this happened a few months back during the pandemic only. So I was just browsing something. I mean, not something. I was just browsing. Okay, and then this thing pops up. It
It
says
was your
phone
browse
hotline
history,
India.
Harsha.
Browse history. I cookies. I put all the cookies in the jar and delete them. Okay, so it says phone hotline India. So then I just get up, I lock the door of the room, I just do this and all, but there's no video and all, but still, man's psychology. Then I just want to try it once, because I'm the kind of guy who wants to try everything in life once, just to see, ye kya hai, ye cheese kya hai, cheese badi hai, mast mast. So I just dial that number, okay. It goes to an IVR connection. I don't know which one of us radio jockeys did it or who did it, okay. And then there is this, voice, this female voice that says, for English, press one. I'm like, okay, this is all professionally done and all of that. And then it says, Hindi ke liye do dabao. And that's where I cut the call because I didn't want to hear the third number where the lady says, probably in vernacular, maybe in Kannada, Kannada koskara morannu vatti bad. Hindi ke liye do dabao nahi chahiye mujhe. I just cut it. So that's my short and sweet and hot hotline story. Do you have any hotline story, Mr. Sriram?
Oh, I think everyone does because people are getting more and more creative with virtual
Yeah.
dating. It's not just about being romantic, it's also sometimes being raunchy, nasty, typing out things
Most of the
that,
times.
yeah, like, I mean, some people actually, it's now become a requirement for you to express yourself really well. So you can mention your deep desires, deep, dark desires, send pictures, send videos. People are doing it all thanks to virtual dating, I feel.
Ram, but the only thing is talking of pictures, there is an age span to the pictures that people send. Okay. It can date like, they used to do the genetic mapping and all, no? Like it can be anywhere from 10 to 3 years old. Okay. Because the only real picture of yours is the one that you have given that Aadhaar card screenshot, no? That you gave to register for the vaccine. I just got jabbed today. So that is the real picture. So this is a tip for everybody who's watching the new abnormal with Sriram and Shivaram. Real picture, please ask for driver's license, Aadhaar card, idinna keli. Then you will get to see how the person looks in real.
That is how a person looks in real life. And social media, of course, and dating sites can be a little deceptive from time to time. But a lot of apps such as Clubhouse, even Hinge, plenty of apps like Tinder, all of them saw a huge spike with one tab which said date from home. So date from home has actually become more or less a permanent tab on all these dating sites. And hopefully
Yeah.
things will change and people will get to go out, meet one another because we are all social animals by the end of the day.
Yeah, many people have become animals. Papa, they were all waiting full courtship ella Mardi. They had laid the foundation stone for meeting the other person. They were ready to go out in March, April. They had bought dresses online, but Papa, second wave banbutu again they're back to dating from home.
And
But on a
Ivaga,
serious
people
note,
are not even able to like work out, like the
yeah,
gyms are closed and everything. So when you meet the other
yeah.
person, he may look completely different altogether. So
Yeah. No. I'm planning. If I need to meet someone, no, after the lockdown, I'm going to meet them after 1 month. Little bit of dieting I'll do, little bit I'll reduce, and I'll become like you and meet them. But on the flip side, Ram, as you rightly said, human connect is also about meeting somebody, right? It's about looking into their eyes, if not necessarily romantically, just have a conversation, get the feel of things. No, it is not just doing everything virtually. Of course, these days everything can be done virtually. Even marriages are happening virtually. But as you rightly said, Ram, I feel the other side is during these times there might have been raunchy conversations. People might be deleting their WhatsApp, whatever they're saying. Let's connect on Telegram, bro. That's more safe. All of these things. But I think there have been some meaningful relationships that have got formulated as well during these times. I know a few people who have gotten into meaningful relationships. They don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if they're going to get committed or get married and hitched up and all that. But it looks bright and promising. And I'm telling you, the raunchy part is probably just 10% of the whole thing. So that's everything is possible in life, bro.
yeah, I mean, you have to, I guess, roll the dice and just go with the flow. These are the current situations, and this is how you met, and makes for a very, very memorable story, right? As to this is how you met. I remember in one zamana, online dating was considered as absurd, whereas
Yeah.
now this is now become a part of everyone's life. Like how?
It's become part of the new abnormal.
Yeah.
I have to tell you this. I have to tell you this, and to everybody who's watching, I know this couple, okay, who are like very romantically wired. They're hardwired like that, like that full-on kuchi puchi janu something which they say, that kind of love. So how they date from home, and of course they're locked down in different homes from their own homes. They're not together. So every Friday, it's a ritual. 8:30 in the evening, get together, full laptop hotspot. They get the connection, so that becomes their hotspot. And both of them, believe it or not, they get a candle. Okay, so next to the laptop, so it's like a nice candlelight dinner. So there's a nice candle that is lit up, and then they have they order in some nice food, whatever, and then maybe there is some wine or something, and they're talking and eating together. They're pretending to feed each other virtually.
How nice. How
I
nice.
know that these things happen for real, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so nice that people are actually taking an effort to dress up in today's world,
Yeah.
because people are just
Yeah.
wearing kache banyan and pretty much spending time at home, not really taking a shower. At least with the pretext of a date, you'll end up wearing a fancy dress, put on
Yeah.
put on some fancy
No,
clothes.
Ram, speaking of that, I remember you once telling me a few years back when you were talking to Arnab Goswami on your show, right? So you were saying he confided in you that while doing his show and while holding a pen in his hand, he's wearing a nice blazer and tie and all of that stuff. But bottom half is jeans, no? I remember you saying that in the
Yeah.
office.
People, like I said, only dress up for the screen, nothing else. Today,
Why don't you wear?
thankfully,
Yeah, there he goes.
I'm wearing
Oh my
pants today,
God.
so I'm safe. Your turn.
No, 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 no. I don't want to show you the Bermudas that I'm wearing from 2 days.
Yeah.
Please, Mr. Sriram
Sure.
Surya, that department is yours, bro.
I
Moving on,
understand.
moving
I
on.
understand that you're wearing a Bermuda. Pretty sure you're not
Uh,
wearing anything, Harsha, knowing you.
uh, Without getting into all the gory details, Mr. Sriram, so tell me something. So now that we have all been working from home and most of us have been dating from home, what are your plans for the weekend, which is coming up? Do you have a date? Do you have a date at home, from home? Who is it with, if we can ask you?
Wow. Okay, so it's very strange when you ask this to a parent to a 4-year-old, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's why I do
actually
it all
what
the
my
time.
weekend
I
plan
like
is.
asking this.
Weekend plan is my turn to take care of Arya. So that is it.
Very sweet.
Saturday and Sunday,
Very
it's just like quality daddy-daughter time and nothing else. So everything else takes a
Yeah.
back seat, and it's just me hanging out with her, doing some fun things, and that's pretty much it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're the
Let me also see if I can hook up with
fun
somebody and
single
spend
one.
some sugar daddy time.
Are you being a sugar daddy to someone? What?
I'm just kidding, Ram. I'm just kidding.
But that's
No,
the
no,
best
but
part about these virtual interactions as well. There is a room for
yeah,
a lot of error, a lot of
yeah,
fun things, a lot of misinterpretations as well. So be careful out there, is all I can say.
yeah. But one warning, one disclaimer that we have to tell people who want to date virtually and date from home, I think, Ram, is that, you need to be careful because there are a lot of gold diggers out there, both guys and girls, right? So the moment you have a date with them, one of my friends was telling me, this person texts him back saying, I had a wonderful time, baby. Can you Google pay me 10,000 bucks? I have to pay my rent. So he's like immediately blocking that person. So please be careful. Huh? Don't tell us that Sriram and Harsha did not warn you. These things do happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, what's your dating from home story? In case you have a very nice, pleasant, or not so pleasant story from your recent date from home, please let us know. You can always put it in the comment below, or you can reach out to us on Instagram. You can comment to us on YouTube as well. And make sure you follow us. Hush Hush with Shivaram. Is that what your YouTube channel is
Hush
called?
Hush with Harsha. That's my new YouTube channel.
Hush
Check
Hush.
it out, but don't keep it hush hush. Like, share, subscribe, and send it to all your friends and all the people you date virtually.
Absolutely. And do let us know what else you want us to talk about. We'd be more than happy to have you join us as part of these interactions as well. Thanks once again, all of you, for watching. I hope you enjoyed another episode of the new abnormal dating from home with Sriram and Shivram.
And as they say, Mr. Sriram has a work call coming up, but I might have a date coming up virtually. So that's married life versus unmarried life, bro. Take care. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. And this is the new abnormal.